Okay, our next, I remember I was talking about themes. So this is another one of the themes about rediscovering one's creative voice. And except, an earlier one, Murot's, was about motherhood as being kind of like the engine. This one is a little different view of motherhood. So Joanne is a photographer, and hers is one of the stories about recovering one's creative voice after some years of neglect. In this case, I believe she will tell us it was motherhood that was the big diversion. Upon graduating from the Portland School of Art in 1979, she focused on her family, but her time away from art was anything but unproductive. She held the title of Ms. Maine in 1989, and Ms. Natural New England in 1989, and also was Ian Crocker's strength trainer at the time of his Olympic debut as a swimmer, and you will observe that she has returned to making art with a vengeance. So her photographic images are powerful, vivid, and breathtaking. So please welcome Joanne Arnold.
Tall. Can you all hear me? Okay, we're going to be talking about recovery tonight. Recovery from an acute onset of motherhood. After 27 years of active duty, 24/7 mothering, I was about to become an empty nester. Upon close investigation, I discovered that there is no beleaguered mother bird weeping on the edge of that nest. The nest is empty. Here are the fledglings at senior prom, poised to jump, dive, fall, with no seatbelt, no bungee cord, no restraining device, and only partial reflection. Empty nest time became a time of reflection. A wedding dress looms large in the reflection of a window in a building that housed my last studio as an art student 33 years ago. Yeah. I don't predetermine images. I tend to stumble across them, images that could finally call out to me, and I could finally listen. Not overwhelmed with school schedules, teacher conferences, carpools, or a compelling request to produce 8 dozen cookies for a bake sale. Photography is relatively new to me. Making images gives order to what I sometimes find chaotic. Image making became an opportunity to pause longer than a busy mother often gets to pause. I was starving for this, and in ways, I was an emotional anorexic. My children, freed from the obligatory Christmas card photo shoot, could allow themselves to be seen by me more clearly in their reflection, and in my reflections, they were allowed to see me. Discovering these images was akin to a prayer that sounded something like this. Oh, dear God, this is amazing. Thank you. After years of a lot of have-tos and musts, I began to see the possibility of dreaming again. I wasn't dead after all, I was just in an empty nest. Images floated dream-like in front of me. I never go looking to illustrate an idea or notion. Rather, it feels like the images basically stalk me until I pay attention. Image making becomes a compulsion. It feels achingly, compellingly necessary to take the shot, which is an impossible notion with a carpool of hungry or distressed children, homework, and curfews. I find myself weak in the knees, and I mean this literally, faced with the beauty and rapture of the everyday chore, the exquisite grace of our everyday life, moved by the heroes of the mundane and the soldiers of the ordinary. Now, which way is up? A good practical stance for a mother has become completely ambiguous. Everything is up for grabs. Everything. And who knew I lived in a world inhabited by color? Something I overlooked all those thousands of trips to the grocery store. Something I even overlooked earning a BFA in painting. Guess it took living my life to see again, or actually to see it all. Our world holds so many layers of information, so many images, so many communications we sort through constantly. Maybe I am just a little bit more aware of how narrow I set my beam to guide myself through the complexity of motherhood. And now can expand that beam and alter that focus. And if I'm not clear on other things, one thing I have become exceptionally clear on is what I encounter and see in the world far surpasses anything I can conjure or imagine. Now, I'd like you to take a look at this. I never saw the name of this boat, and for those who can't see that, it says Old Habits. I didn't see that until I edited this image. I'm pretty literal. I looked at old habits and reflected. It's been life-giving, sustaining, nurturing to celebrate light, which is the paint of photography. Light gives birth to images, images give birth to metaphor, metaphor gives birth to insight, insight gives birth to more reflection. See? I'm still busy giving birth. Are reflections of more or less substance than the non-reflected? And when you're painting with light, what substance are we talking about anyway? The world appears largely as an invention. Outside of my nest, I'm struck with sudden beauty, unexpected irony, and unreasonable grace, and an opportunity to reflect on who the hell I am and conjure what the hell I may become. The world seems to arrange itself like a beautiful model, dropping her robe just so in that impeccable place of trust and beauty and isness. So this is the journey to see what we haven't seen. Who knew that water drops from the shower head in a black and white tiled stall appear to fall as soccer balls, okay? Like, who knew that? So repeat after me. Oh, dear God, this is amazing. Thank you.
Okay. That was poetry. I mean, visually, and just the whole thing, just amazing.